Okay, you can take your rhythm playing from feeling stiff and uninspiring to like really tight quickly. Now watch this. But funny story, I just shot this whole video in slow motion with no sound. So round 2, so if you're watching this, it obviously works. Now, we're gonna do a C chord. We're gonna limit ourselves to get better. Now what I'm saying is, you see that drum set, which I'm horrible at, I just got, but it's all the same framework. So I go to the snare drum and I just do just the snare. I go right, left, left, left. I couldn't really do that at first. I didn't have the wiring or the framework built in my brain, and that's all we're gonna do here today. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a C chord, okay? And let me know how I do. I think this is gonna make me a better teacher on here for you too, okay? And I'm gonna get better on guitar by playing the drums. So our first finger is our pointer, our second finger is our middle finger, our third finger is our ring finger, and our fourth finger is our pinky. And I tell you that because if I say that, I need you to know what finger I'm referring to. So we're gonna limit ourselves too by only doing slides. C major chord, and we're gonna slide on one string, okay? Again, you gotta connect the dots slowly. I forget what it's like to be a beginner in guitar, but the drums made me go, oh yeah, I gotta roll back for these people. Team Jellyfish. Now, first finger, right? First finger on the B string on the first fret. Okay, we're gonna do a C major scale all the way up. We're gonna stay on the B string, so just watch, no charts, just listen. C, 3rd fret, D, 5th fret, E. You want to say the notes, there's no sharps or flats, really clean. Key is C. 6th fret F, 8th fret G, 10th fret A, 12th fret B, and then the octave C. And then go back down. Okay, now here's what we're gonna do. One of the hardest things in guitar is to flow between a chordal thing and a melodic thing. For example, now here's what I like about the slide. We're not doing any hammer-ons, no pull-offs. The slide kind of like promotes this flow. You gotta get your body in that flow. You're gonna have a stiff rhythm forever. You don't wanna be a ticky-tacky stiff rhythm guitarist, right? And rhythm, you don't have lead if you don't have rhythm, right? So think of it this way. If you're in a 3-piece band, drums, guitar, and bass. That was the best thing that ever happened to me when I toured in a band like that. Because I was everything. I was rhythm, I was lead. You can't just sit there. You don't just come in and play the lead and then don't play. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. What if you did that? So this is kind of like the analogy between the snare drum I'm learning and how you just get the first note on the first fret with your first finger, and what's that note again? C, okay? So this is how, watch, beatbox it. You gotta tap your foot, you gotta move your body. It's the same way in drums, you can't just sit there stiff. If you're stiff, your rhythm will be stiff. You gotta be like inside that rhythm, flowing like a jellyfish. Oh yeah, what's your favorite sea creature? Drop it in the comments. So watch. Now let's see if we can work our way up through the scale. We're limiting ourselves. We're not playing the C major all over. We're just staying in one string, okay? A lot of players too, they don't use this horizontal scale. They would stay vertical, right? Or yeah. So watch. 1, 2, 3. You notice there, I just slid with my first finger, okay? I didn't even use any other fingers. So again, I'm just giving you frameworks. You don't have to do what I do, but I do want you to limit yourself to the C and the C major scale on the B string. Now we can throw in a G chord to make it more music, because you always got to think like a songwriter, right? Because I'll tell you what happened to me real quick on the drums. When I was playing that snare drum, I was going what was crazy, when I went over here to the floor tom and I went well, then it started to sound more musical, more like a song, because I wasn't just playing the scale. So that's where I want you to start, from different spots in the C major scale to sound musical. So for example, you see what I'm doing there? Now, okay, this is not easy, all right? But the more you do it, the more flow you have. So what I think you could kind of do is try and get your rhythmic flow really good down here on the lower frets, right? So not as much movement. And then work your way up. When you start to fall apart, like the further up the neck you get, roll back, all right? So for example, let's see. could use my second finger there. You can mix up the fingers. Just try and keep the slides going for the